Ben, how you doing, man? So glad to have you here with us, brother. Um, you've been crushing it. You and James have been crushing it over the past month or so, and I really think your story, like, is genuinely gonna be a powerful conversation to have and share with the people that are watching on the outside, looking in, trying to make a decision on whether this is something they should be in and take part in. So just to kind of give you a heads up, like this isn't going to be a crazy, like super hard question interview. Things it's pretty simple. Like just we're just going to talk like you're sharing your story with your buddies, right? And what's happening in your business. So, you ready to jump in?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool, cool. So, just to kind of kick things off, right? Before you started with us, like where was your business? Like what were things going on in your business that you were trying to solve?
Sure. Yeah. It was doing well. It was doing okay for the two of us. We'd never run an agency before. We'd always done freelancing. This is the first time of putting something together that's bigger than that. And a lot of the clients that we started with were either ones from freelancing that had rolled over to the agency or referrals from either networks we're in or from existing clients. But we had no like inbound leads or anything coming in that was sort of from cold traffic. It was always sort of warm or referral traffic that was coming to us as leads.
Yeah. Okay. So like what was that the biggest challenge that you guys were facing at that point?
Yeah, I think so. And then I think as we were going through the course and the community and everything, I think we realized that our processes just as a whole weren't great. So we didn't really have a client tracker, like keeping track of the roadmaps that we had for clients or even like the revenue of those. We knew roughly like where we were revenue wise, but it wasn't something that we really even tracked, which was dumb thinking about it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think our main problems were we didn't really have the processes to scale, and we didn't really have any inbound leads at all that weren't already like known or referrals.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So during that time, like what made you decide that like, hey, something had to change? Like we needed our tracking. We need to be able to find inbound or outbound leads. What was the moment that really made you decide to make that change?
We closed a few leads in, I think, the same day or like within a day of each other, three or four leads. And it was just sort of super stressful. And we realized that we didn't have client roadmaps at the time. So everything we were doing for new clients was, it was kind of like thought of on the spot for that client. So it meant doing everything four times, like unique things each time. And then we would go straight in and create campaigns or do research into those brands. When we introduced the roadmaps, I think it was a big helper on that. It made it a lot less stressful because it split the onboarding tasks over like a week instead of us trying to like rush them in day one. It also meant because there's a lot of things that do stay pretty consistent across different brands, like the conversion tracking, writing ad copy, launching a brand campaign, launching generic campaigns. It meant that we already knew what we needed to do when we got new clients. So putting those roadmaps in place, right, sort of means that every new client is easier now.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, so yeah, getting a lot of that tracking. I remember the first time talking to you guys, and you guys was like, we don't really have that kind of stuff put together. I was like, okay, definitely got to get on that. Because let's get that knocked out ASAP. And I'm glad it's been as impactful as it has been for you for your business and for your sanity in your
Yeah.
business, right? Cool. So when you first heard about Imperium acquisition, like what was going through your mind? Like were you hesitant at all to jump in? Like tell me kind of your thought process during that time.
Um, I thought some kind of like community would be useful initially. We already get referrals from one community, and there's a lot of knowledge sharing in there. So we thought just communities would be helpful moving forward. Also, something to learn the cold email side of things or getting leads from Instagram. Anything that would help with that, we thought would be useful. We tried a lot of sort of random online stuff, but there was no like structured either learning or way of doing things that we could like talk to people about, which
Yeah.
I think was something that we get from like a community slash course that we wouldn't get from just a YouTube video, which was nice. I think as well at the time, like we or both me and James had additional income outside of the agency. So in terms of like the cost for a course like this, it was kind of covered by the income from the agency at the time. So that I think definitely alleviated some of the concerns with cost. I think if we'd have been a few months ago, we just couldn't have afforded it, or it would have been like a significant investment out of like savings or other income or something. So I think having the agencies like started and already starting to do something before this was a big thing for us.
Got it. Got it. So walk us through like what you actually implemented. Like once you guys got in the program, you started taking on some of the course material. What did you build or change first?
The offer was the first thing, and that was probably the most impactful thing, probably still to the day, of just having a defined offer for the agency, what our actual product is. There were quite a few, those 3 or 4 clients that I spoke about earlier. They're ones that have been in the pipeline before, but hadn't closed. But as soon as we had like a defined offer, and as soon as we had our like risk reversal and guarantees in place, those closed easier. And yeah, obviously they weren't bought, they weren't sold before, and then they went to being sold when they heard our guarantee and everything.
Yeah.
So immediately that sort of had a good ROI for us.
Yeah, that was a major flip. That was a major flip on the revenue side. Yeah. I remember
Definitely, yeah, and it helped get so many conversations going because it went from just like we're an agency where there's I mean there's tons of agencies, a lot of them in acquisition nirvana. So it took us from just a agency to almost an agency with no risk associated. So any of the brands that were like on the fence about needing an agency or just didn't think Google Ads was the channel for them, maybe they're already running Meta or another channel well. It just was a no-brainer then for them to come with us.
Yeah. No, I remember that day. It was a very pivotal piece to the turning point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, cool. So my next question would have been, is like what was the specific strategy or framework that made the biggest impact for you guys? So would you say that was the offer and rebuilding that?
I think the offer is the main thing so
Yeah.
far. Yeah. We're working on all our email and our DM outreach at the moment. So I think that will be a big next step. But I think so far the offer and the guarantee has had the biggest impact for us. And I think it will moving forward as well. I mean, it's one of the foundational
Yeah.
parts of everything.
Yeah. We can definitely say that that offer is validated for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quick question about just how we've worked together, right? Having me as your, fractional CFO or CEO, through the process, like how's that changed your approach to things in the business?
I think it's kept us on track. James and I obviously we're trying to do the things you've like assigned to us or suggested we do, and it's meant that I think we're probably more likely to have done those because there's a person who will know, I guess, if we've not done them. I think that's been pretty helpful. Also, any just random questions, the back and forth has been useful for I think help with our offer at the time, our guarantee and everything like that.
Yeah, it's been fun too. I enjoy meeting with you guys, right? From you bouncing all the way across the world back to UK.
Yeah. Much more stable now though, which is going to be good for the agency.
100%, 100%. So thinking back through just, I mean, it's only been like maybe a month and a half, maybe going on 2 months now. Was there like a moment where things just like started to click for you guys? Where you could say that you felt a shift happening in your business or within yourself?
Um, I think with the processes, yes. Like before, it was kind of just two people basically just doing freelancing on the same accounts. But it feels like a company now almost. Like we're just in the process of hiring someone for Google Ads delivery. We're also looking now for someone to help with lead sourcing and to help with the first lines, a VA of some sort there. So there's a team now. There's processes now. We have I think a really good onboarding process. Like we've worked with agencies in the past, and James has his own e-com store and has worked with agencies in the past. So we know what agencies do when they're onboarding, big agencies. And I think we're in a place where like our onboarding is on par or better with those. Like it's really good. It goes from like as soon as they close, like we've got a 90-day roadmap. We've got an onboarding website that runs through with videos on how to give us access, how to get things set up for anything we need on their side.
Yeah.
That all flows through like our we've got a internal like client database and CRM, that kind of thing. So I think it's a more of a machine now than it was before, where it was kind of just we knew roughly what was happening, but there was no real data or tracking.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think we talk tracking like it's something like a small thing, but it's such a major part of the business, right? Especially for your sanity. Like when you wake up and you really don't know why things are happening, it can be a stressful and anxiety building thing, especially as you scale and things get more expensive. You're bringing on team members and things like that, like you guys are doing. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now I wake up, I know like exactly what I need to do for the clients with the roadmaps. I know exactly what I need to improve based on the data that we're tracking. So it's really clarified what are the most important tasks for me to do. Whereas before it could kind of be like, go through the motions, you do something, you go on to something else, you go on to something else that's based on vibes, I guess. But
yeah,
now there's a structure and there's a list of things that need doing.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Clarity is key. So let's talk some results, man. You mentioned some of the things that you guys have changed in the business when it comes to tracking and how much that has helped, right? What other results have you guys seen in the business so far since implementing what you've learned?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. As I said, the main thing was the offer. So I think after we defined that, I think we closed 4 clients um, pretty quickly that had like previously said no, either like they were objected to the price, they were objected to needing Google Ads or just
Hmm.
something else. I think closing those alone would have probably covered like our investment in Imperium acquisition Nirvana, EasyGrow. The platform is covered with those 4, so that was really good for us. I think as well that we've just grown. I don't know how to word it, but yeah, it's helped us close clients. I guess that's the main result we're looking for as an agency. It's also helping us get our processes in place for getting more cold traffic and cold leads in. So when that's all set up and that's working like a well-oiled machine, we'll see
Be a
some more
different
results
level.
there for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different level when we get those things up and running and ramped up. Cool. So let's put it like so you said 4 clients, right? Let's put a number on that. How much is a 4 client acquisition month for you guys as far as revenue?
Sure. I think an average client, well, our retention is really good. So I guess like average, like lifetime value clients are worth a lot to us. I guess we start with minimum contract terms of 3 months. So at least the average is about £6,000 per client. So with all 4 there, looking at my head is not in the right space for maths there, but what 24?
24? 24K?
24K
Yeah.
there. So yeah, definitely a good a week. I think it's happened in a few days, like a good few days there,
Yeah.
and yeah, and the month overall was really good for us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is amazing how quick things turn around when your offer is like solidified and you're like certain in it and confident in it. And it makes your leads even more confident too. So kudos to you guys for doing the work, right? Because that's what it's all about. Because you could have chose not to do that. You could have pushed back. Some people do.
Yeah, I think the offer was an interesting one that I guess we hadn't considered before, but it makes a lot of sense now. But I think yeah, outside of this, probably wouldn't have considered doing a guarantee or anything like that. We would have just stuck to one pricing model, one like that's the offer. I guess is just it's this much per month. We do this. Whereas now, I guess on the client side, that they know that if we don't hit these targets, like there's no risk on them. It's helped
Yeah.
a lot.
It's a major piece. It's a major piece that a lot of offers are missing. I've reviewed probably 50, 60 offers in the past few months, and a lot of their offers are missing that. So
Mm.
great work on you guys getting it done. Um, Sometimes we don't talk about this enough. This next question that I have for you is like the money is cool, like in the business being successful is great, right? But how does this growth for you guys and the changes you've made in your business affect you personally in your business? Not just in your business, but in your life.
Yeah, I think what's recently become evident is that we can hire people. So the hiring of a paid media delivery person, like service delivery person, really means that we can work more on the actual like business growth rather than like Google Ads day-to-day work, which I think will be huge for us because it's kind of it's quite a like repetitive process, I think, doing Google Ads, and it's quite a lot of clients we have each at the moment, which means we're kind of going like spending a big chunk of the day doing the same kind of tasks for different clients. Whereas I think now, I mean, means we can just actually grow the business. Like at the moment, it's probably 10-15% of our time is on acquisition nirvana and growing the business and sales. Whereas now it opens up probably half, if not more, of the time by hiring people. And I think that's been a huge thing. It also means, I guess, when we've got to the point where our sales systems are in place, that if we can get salespeople and cold email people, like that we can do less on the agency. And I think like being able to take days off would be a big thing because I don't think James or myself have really had a day or 2 days where we've not touched our laptops,
Yeah.
which I think would be really nice. I think at the moment, like we couldn't take a week off. We couldn't take a weekend off probably without it having some kind of impact.
Yeah. Man, those are the days. I remember when our agency finally got to that point and I was working like 4 hours a day and I could take like half a days off pretty frequently. Because we had a team that was rock stars crushing it. And so that's what I definitely look forward to helping you guys build out so you can take those trips and not have to worry about revenue dipping or a client fire not being able to be put out or whatever. So
Yeah, I think that's the main thing we realized around the same time we started this course. I think we realized that we can live on like very little of the agency's revenue, and then the rest of it like doesn't matter. Like we don't need it, so it can go into investing in the future of the agency. So things like this, things like the staff that we're now getting, VAs that we're not planning to get now, a lot of tools that we've now sort of invested in that help us out on cold email or cold DM or just tracking side of things.
yeah. Yeah. Reinvesting in the business is very wise. Yeah. Instead of lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Make sure
Mhm.
you're building something solid. So smart guys. Love it. All right. So I hate having, I hate, really asking a bunch of questions about myself, but I'm just curious, right? What has, working with me specifically been like for you? Because a lot of people are coming through this process and they're like, what does a fractional CEO do? Like, what's the purpose of it? Right? Like, what stands out about, for you about our relationship?
Sure. Yeah, I think a lot of it, the main thing I think is the accountability for us. Obviously, we can lean on your expertise when we have questions. Anything agency, anything acquisition of honor, um, you'll answer, and that will be great. But I think for us, it's just having someone that we know has done this before and knows what they're talking about, almost like hand holding us through some of this stuff. Because going from like two freelancers that like no systems, no structure, no employees or staff or anything, to where we are now, like is not an easy thing. And it is an easier thing, I guess, with someone like you that has done it before. Um, but yeah, I think it's the accountability, the hand holding, the help when we've needed it from someone who's done it before is great.
Yeah, yeah. And that rings true across the board with a lot of the guys I work with is, not having accountability. It's easy to procrastinate for yourself and to let down yourself. But you got a call next week with me and you're like, yo, I got like 5 things I need to do between now and then. You go get it
For
done.
sure. I mean, the course is the ammunition, I guess, and then you're helping us point the gun like where we need to. Because I
Yeah,
think without that, we would have sort of there's a lot of modules, obviously, on a lot of different things. Like we would
yeah,
have jumped around for sure. I definitely would have like jumped to different sections or done different things or done the wrong order. But yeah, having you to like aim us to like where's most important for our company stage and for where we're at. Yeah,
yeah.
it's invaluable.
100%, man. 100%. So you've got a lot of coaches other than me. You have the calls and the coaches on the calls. Tell me, where have you felt like the Imperium team really showed up for you, like in a big way, and what happened?
I've joined a few of them. I think they're. a mix of reasons why. And like some were just to listen in, maybe when we weren't ready for that certain thing. So I've joined like some of the sales calls and some of the cold email ones before we had those set up. And I think it's just interesting to sort of see the things people have tried and tested for their businesses. And then there are things that we can think about for when we get to that stage, or maybe things we can start prepping now, ready for when we get to that stage.
Yeah.
For example, like I joined some of the cold email calls before we'd started cold email on using Clay for automations. And I think then we sort of started maybe not actioning on it, but thinking of different ways we can start scraping emails or start finding emails of our ICP and using Clay for that. And then obviously when we went through the actual module, we realized that, yeah, like some things need warming up or some things need time. And it meant that we could sort of action those quicker, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and I always advise people to do that, to sit in before you even need it, because if you know it's on your path and you're listening to other people who are down the path further than you, it's always going to give you better insight and perspective for when you actually start the activity, right? So, for sure, for sure. So, let's kind of talk about future, man. Like, where are you guys headed next? Like, what are you working toward now that you've built this foundation for yourself?
Yeah, getting consistent inbound leads or cold leads is going to be the next thing for sure. I think at the moment, very much still like everything we get, or the majority of what we get, is referral or partnerships, which is great. But
Yeah,
I think we can speed things up with the cold side, and setting up cold email and getting that dialed is ongoing. But that's like the main thing for us in the future, or in the near future to do.
yeah,
I think after that, we'd really like to expand the team when we can justify it. Like as soon as we've got enough clients to justify a sort of junior second team member that can work below the person we've just hired, I think that would be really great to see.
yeah, yeah. Expansion is going to be key for you guys because delivery is very hands-on for you. So, having a team there to kind of take that off your plate is going to be major.
For
Um,
sure, yeah, and
yeah,
also it's
excited.
cool because
Yeah,
it makes it seem like a real business, I guess. Like it was freelancing before almost, even when it was like
yeah.
registered as an agency, it was still me and a mate doing freelance work. But
Yeah.
yeah, now, yeah, I've already said,
Different
but
when
like
it's different when
consistent
you're responsible for paying other people's bills. Like that's how I used
for
to see
sure.
it
Yeah,
when I first started hiring team, and we had one person on salary and everybody else was kind of commission, but this was like his main thing, and I was like, man, like we're responsible for him for making sure that he can like put food on the table for his kids, right? Like we're responsible for making sure that can happen. And that's
yeah,
a big difference. Like you definitely go out of freelancer mode into like I'm a business owner. I got deeper responsibilities for my team now.
yeah.
But it's great
And
though.
I'm looking
Drives
forward
you.
to that. Yeah, moving away from just doing service delivery to being able to do probably 70% of my time can be on like business development, sales,
Yeah.
and outbound. Still some service delivery, still like strategy and everything, but it shifts more to business growth rather than business work, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll notice a shift when it happens for sure. Uh,
Mm.
so tell me this, like if someone was, sitting on the fence right now and thinking about whether Imperium is right for them or not, right? What would you say to them?
I think go for it. If you can justify like the expense, it is worth it, and it will get you a result. If you're going to put in the work for it. I can see that without someone like you on the team, like you could join and maybe not go through the courses or the resources or action on what's given to us. But I think it really helps. And I think if like someone's willing to listen to you, then yeah, it's worthwhile.
Say we're going to help them win. We're going to help them win for sure. All
Mm.
right. That's why I tell people who are really skeptical who get in and they're kind of still hesitant. I'm like, bro, I'm here to run with you every single day and help you win. And a month from there, they realize that. Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something that's worth testing out. Yeah, especially if you are like committed to growing the agency.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man. Well, I appreciate that. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything we haven't covered that you think people should know?
Um, I don't think so. No. Um, I'm not sure. No.
No? Okay.
I feel like there's yeah, the community side is not the only thing that I have on it is the community side is not like super like active and like popping as much as I thought it would be. Like the real value is in the calls and the fractional CEO side of things.
Yeah.
So I think people like it's worth noting that, I guess. Like it's not going to be like contacting or DMing or messaging in groups and communities like I don't know some other platforms. It is the value is in joining the calls and talking to people there.
Yeah. Getting in front of the experts, man. Getting in front of the experts. Like that is one of the things that most course material course not courses, but like coaching programs or agency programs miss is that the experts aren't really that high level of experts. And
Mm,
Charlie and Bo have done an amazing job at putting like true experts in front of our clients on a daily basis. So yeah, I love that about it. Love that about it.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, it's been an amazing call with you, Ben. I really appreciate you coming on this call with me and sharing your story and sharing what you've gone through and the experience that you've had. And man, we're just getting started, right? We're only like a month and a
Yeah,
half, 2 months in. So like we're just cracking the ice. But I do appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I'm probably sure we may have another one of these down next, 2, 3, 4 months as you guys crack closer to 100K.
for sure. Yeah, I mean we're a month and a half in. We've doubled the headcount basically, or we're in the process of doubling the headcount and probably doubling revenue. So yeah, it's been
Yeah.
great so far.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, man, you enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate you jumping on a call with me.
Cool. Yeah, talk soon.